Amen. Amen. So without wasting time, I would want to prepare our guest speakers today. We have Rachel Wainaina and Kerry Kagiri that are going to speak to us just shortly. So I want them to be in preparation, and we also have a valedictorian speech from our students, Mr. Sam Watho. So I want you to be ready because we are really moving at a fast rate right now. Thank you so much once again for being patient with us. So straight to our first speaker, Kerry Kagiri, who's giving a speech on mastering your skill and value addition in your career. Miss Kerry Kagiri, if you can get us, this is your time. Take the stage, and I wish I had the chance to ululate. I would ululate for you. But because so Miss Kerry Kagiri, the stage is yours. We are honored and humbled to have you at Talanta Institute, our fourth annual graduation ceremony.
Awesome. Thank you for being patient with me as I get this. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on mastering your skill and value addition in your career. Looked at this topic, I realized even I have to evaluate where it is I am at in my own life and in my own career, and am I adding value to my employer, am I adding value to everyone I meet. And I want to thank God because he gave me a scripture according to Proverbs chapter 22 verses 29. It says, do you see someone skilled in their work? They will serve before kings. They will not serve before officials of low rank. Another name for low rank is they will not serve ordinary people. They will get to serve extraordinary people and people of high rank, people who can give you some good money. Looking at what we talk about, someone who is skilled in their work, it's someone who is competent. And I thought to myself, what does it take for me to be completely competent? I looked at the initiative. Number one, I want to encourage all the graduates and everyone who is watching this, even the parents, because it's always a good time to learn and to grow. I learned that number one, you need to explore, which means inquiring into your field. It means discussing in detail what your role, your responsibilities, what you are expected to be doing, and do it well. I also thought about that's number one, exploring. Also came to mind is experience. Now, most of the time we don't live in the moment. We don't enjoy everything we are doing at the season we are doing it. And so that caught my attention, and I thought I need to experience, which means engaging with practical content, which means observing, which means going on an adventure and learning more and more and just enjoying the exposure that you get in the various spaces that you're in. Sorry, I just need to get this right. Okay, we'll just stay like that. Let's go to the other point I thought was expressing yourself. And to express came up as to squeeze out. That is finding platforms, using everything you have in every season and doing it with your best knowledge, with the knowledge that you explored, with what you've experienced, then now going out there and prospering and working so well, being a good worker, being the first person that I think about. When I'm thinking about an editor, it should be you in whatever institution. When I think about a makeup artist, when I think about a graphic designer and all the other skills, even the nail guy, by the way, I need a money. I'm coming. As I wrap up, I thought about engage. And in engage, some of the things that came to my mind and to my heart were be available. Be available to work, be available to grow, be available to give. And giving is not only money. You can give of your time, you can give of your skills to every community. I say some people have really prospered by giving their time. And of course, the founder of the institution can tell you that he gives, and he has been giving over the years his skill and his resource to the church. And with that, it's a ripple effect of more opportunities for him to connect with people, to get work, to get students, to even have a community and a family. And so I want to encourage you as you step out, you have had an opportunity to explore. That is, you have learned a lot of skills. You better go out and use them. Mastering your skill and value addition comes with going the extra mile. You're so good, but you're still available, and you go the extra mile to do well, and to give of everything that you've learned. So I wish you well. I hope some of you can even come and tell me, Kerry, can we work out something? And that would be excellent, because collaboration is a huge part of what we do. And in learning different things, in being open. Usi, don't be rigid. Me in fanya editing, that's the only thing I can do. No, learn, go and support the first director, go on set and see what's happening, engage with the content. And I'm super excited. Congratulations to the fourth graduating class of Talanta Institute 2021. I wish you the best, and thank you for this opportunity. I just want to do a shameless plug by telling you to tune in to Hope FM and Hope TV. It's where you look and live and engage with our content as well. Follow me at Kerry Kagiri. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Kerry Kagiri. Thank you very much. I am your follower, I'm your fan. I listen to Hope FM, Hope TV, and thank you for being loyal to Talanta Institute. I remember even the previous graduation that we had, you were the MC, and you really added value. Just to maybe pinpoint a few things that you say that are very important, adding value to your career. And there is a point that you say that our CEO always keeps saying and telling us when we have a meeting, that there is no traffic jam in the extra mile. And you talked about engaging, being available. Personally, I volunteered at St. Paul's University at the ICT offices for 1 year without getting a single coin, and I'm paying my house rent. Don't ask me how I did that. But maybe the blessings that I'm encountering today, it's because of how I gave my time. That is being available. That is engaging. You also talked about going an extra mile, how to explore, as in casting and being careful on details. We cannot live on assumptions. It is good for us to always take note of details. Details are the things or phenomenons, like they call them phenomenons. They're the things, they're the small things that make a difference, especially if you're an artist. Thank you, Ms. Kerry Kagiri. We are humbled as Talanta Institute for your time and for your faithfulness. Thank you so much. And you can tune in to Hope FM if you want to interact with Kerry Kagiri on the breakfast show, I think so. Yeah. Moving on swiftly, we have Rachel Wainaina again, who is a master trainer and an award-winning film producer and director. So if you are ready, I can see you're ready. Thank you, Miss Rachel Wainaina. Can I relate for you? Ow! Welcome, Miss Rachel. Welcome, Miss Rachel.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to begin by saying that it's such a great honor. I'm a member of this family, the Talanta Institute family, and I want to start by congratulating the management of Talanta Institute for leading in the private sector in actually giving practical education in multimedia, and to congratulate also the 70 graduates who are graduating today for a job well done. It's not everybody who graduates, and I know the kind of work you have to do to graduate at Talanta Institute. So congratulations. And special mention to Paul and Dr. Caro for the leadership they've continued to offer Talanta Institute and in collaborating with all of us in the industry. Thank you also to all the management of Talanta, including the Principal Edwin and other staff members who work in Talanta Institute. Thank you so much for the continued collaboration. Today I was invited to talk about the power of initiative in the modern world. I think when I look at myself, I see this topic living, coming out of me. It's alive in me. And it's because my story actually describes the journey of resilience and the journey of pushing to become. And before I go into some few points that I want to share with us today, the first thing I want to say is one of my favorite books in the world, which is a best-selling book, is called The Outliers. It's written by Malcolm Gladwell. Now, Malcolm Gladwell studied the lives of the most successful people in the world. And he realized one thing. He came to this conclusion, that all of them had worked more than 9,000 hours to become. If you read many books, actually you read Michelle Obama's Becoming, you read books written by many successful people. Hard work is the key to success. And success does not come easily. It takes time and it's molded. Also, I want to start with three quotes. The other quote I want to talk about is a quote that was done by Mary Kay. She's an American businesswoman, and she said, there are three types of people in this world: those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who wonder what happened. So that's another quote that we should be reflecting about as I'm going to be talking about this topic. And the third quote that I'm going to talk about today is a quote by Victor Hugo, who's a French writer. And he said, "Initiative is doing the right thing without being told." I have lived, and as I've said, I have lived my life following this philosophy that nobody is gonna help me to come from one level to another. I have to push myself to do the things that I even don't trust that I can do by myself. And so I really relate with these two quotes, and I also relate with the philosophy that is brought about by the book, that is the Outliers book. Okay, there are a few points that I want to talk about today when it comes to the power of initiative in the modern world. When it comes to the power of initiative in the modern world, one of the things is you need to develop a career plan. You need to develop a career plan, because now you've been studying, you've gotten the skills, you've met people. Now, what's next? I think if I were you graduating today, one of the things I'll be thinking about is, what's my career plan today? That's one thing I'll be thinking about. So do you have a personal leadership development plan that outlines how your journey is going to be? That should be your first point to think about. And when you think about this plan, think about a big vision and think about long term, around 3 years coming back, and then start working towards it. Initiative does not come on its own. It comes after you develop a plan that you can follow. The second point that I want us to talk about today is you also need to build your self-confidence. This is the time, in Kiswahili we say, this is the time ya kujiamini. You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in your talent. You need to believe in your ideas, because that's what will open more doors for you. So that's the second point I wanted to share with us today, where you build your self-confidence. You address yourself the way you want to be addressed. The way you dress, the way you present yourself, the way you go for opportunities, and when you're given a job, how do you actually do this job? That's the second thing. The third thing I want to talk about today is spotting opportunities. I think this is a key thing. You need to start thinking about, what are the opportunities I have? Especially in the multimedia sector, one of the opportunities you're graduating with today is the ability to have different team members who you are working with in school. Now you're all out there in the professional world. How can you collaborate? You had industry professionals coming to work with you and to train you. How can you work with them? Start from where you are. Look at the opportunity, look at the financing opportunities, look at the benchmarking opportunities, look at all these opportunities, and don't only look at them, also utilize every opportunity that comes along your way. The fourth thing that I wanted to talk about is analyze your ideas. Don't just wake up and just start doing anything. Think about your ideas. Apply deductive reasoning to see, are your ideas working so far? How is it going? That is going to really help you move to the next level in terms of sharing your ideas. The other thing that I need you to think about is you also need, to develop persistence and resilience. We are living in very difficult times, and in the modern world, the young people have an advantage. With the emergence of COVID-19, as young people, we've been privileged to get an advantage of actually being able to be very acquainted to technology. So there are a lot of opportunities that are going to come with that. And the last point I wanted to discuss today is find balance. As you leave today and graduate, there are a lot of things that you're expected to do in the society. One of the things is, you need your personal life, your family life, you need your career balance, you need to keep advancing your education, you need to keep advancing in every sector of your life. So create that balance in your life that can help you move to the next level. And above all, kujituma, send yourself, give your all in each and everything you do. And I'm going to finish with the words that I was told by one of my mentors, Isaiah Panel. And this is what my mentor said. He said, everything you do it wisely, because somebody might be watching. Thank you very much, and congratulations once again to all the 70 graduates of Talanta Institute 2021. Thank you very much.
Wow, that was very powerful. That was very powerful. I hope, even apart from students, even any expertise in the group, or anyone who's following the conversation, they're really getting something. Thank you, Miss Rachel. Miss Rachel, thank you for such powerful words. We are humbled for that. And just to mention something that you say that is very important, persistence. And let me just round up your conversation with something very important that you said, the PLDP, Personal Leadership Development Plan. It's a very important thing for you as a person in life to have. Short-term goals, long-term goals, and you're on check. Something that is very important that you've talked about. And just to say something on Facebook in connection with what you've said about persistence, Mr. Timothy Gashoka on Facebook is saying those technical hitches are a reflection of life. It may not be all smooth, but you keep persisting. You don't give up. Thank you so much, Mr. Timothy Gashoka, with that. And thank you for our Facebook guys that are tuned in, our parents, students, and any other guests. We really appreciate, and we really recognize your presence. Thank you so much. So I want us to warm our hands wherever we are. Najua tuko pale nyumbani, wengine maybe hata kuna keki ya graduation ikiisha, mnaweza tuwekea, tutakuja. Ni jambo njema. So thank you, our guests. That is Rachel and Miss Kerika Giri. Those were powerful words. And again, you're dressed up for the event. Heads up, heads up. So I want to invite a very important person. That could be VIP, but serving comes with a calling. And I want to invite a very great person here at Talanta Institute. And I want to introduce her in a very creative and I don't know how to put it, but in a very nice manner. We are a hub that we are a talent hub. That is, we are a talent hub. And that does not make us, or that does not draw the line. It doesn't matter what you're pursuing. So the next person that I'm going to invite, I know they're going to say about themselves in a better way, but we have a nurse with us. We have a doctor, not even a nurse, a doctor with us. And she's going to share her experience, and she's going to even invite more guests. So I want us to put our hands together wherever we are. Pale nyumbani, hata kwa Facebook kuna emoji ya makofi. Unaweza weka makofi pale upige, so that we can invite our next guest. And for me, I am here ululating to our next guest of honor. So help me invite our next guest. I don't have to call her doctor. Honorable Dr. Caroline Juguna. Come on, help me invite Dr. Caroline Juguna to the stage so that she can talk to us. Thank you. Welcome so much. She's very beautiful.
Thank you so much, Shadrach. You're making me blush with that introduction. Thank you so much, Shedi. I really appreciate. I want to appreciate all our guests. We really are happy and we are really honored to have all of you. Thank you, Miss Kerry. Thank you, Rachel Wainaina. We really appreciate that. And thank you to our team at Talanta Institute, our media team. It's been a challenging morning, but we are glad we are live. We really appreciate your efforts. I would want to congratulate our graduating class. It's been a difficult 1 year, 2020, but I'm glad that most of you were able to join us online, as we talk about reinventing ourselves, as we talk about being ready to change and to adapt. I think our graduates have really done that well. From physical class, you guys shifted with us online, and here we are graduating. Congratulations to you and to our parents also for supporting our students. So today I don't want to talk about growth. It's still in line with the theme of our graduation today. And how I define growth is moving from one level to another, superior level, and becoming a better version of yourself. And our world around is surrounded by growth. When you look at people, I'm a parent, I'm a mother, and it's always exciting. It's always really exciting to see our babies move from one stage to another, move from a point where they're not sitting to a point where they're trying to walk, eventually they are walking, they are running. It's a very exciting moment to just see that. And when we also look at, especially the area of technology, I remember when I finished high school, those days, if you needed anything to do with internet, you had to go to a cyber. If you needed to do any international calls, you had to go to the bureau. But things have changed. There was a day, the Kenya bus days, the KBS days where, that was the norm. That's how we used to travel. But things have changed. Things have really changed. We are now in the Uber era. We are now in an era where you can order anything from the house. So when we look at how our world is done and how we are made, it's natural to grow. If you don't grow, it's abnormal. We say that if you're not growing, you're dying. And that's true. Being a doctor, I'm Dr. Caroline, and I'm a medical doctor. And I remember when I'm working with parents who have small babies, when they come to the clinic, they want to be sure that my baby is growing well, we are achieving our milestone, we are adding on weight. And also when people are very sick, one of the way you know that this person is going is when they are not growing, and that's when you'll notice they are losing weight and all that. So I'm saying this to say, and it's a challenge to our graduating students, you need to grow. Always remember that when you're not growing, you're dying. There is no vacuum in life. There is no place where you're just there. At me, I grew up to this place, now I'm just there. No, you're either growing or you're dying. So let's challenge ourselves not to die. Let's challenge ourselves that where we are at today is the least we should ever be. We should never arrive. No one should ever arrive, Like right now, and ways of growing. Right now, you're graduating. There's a skill you've learned. You've picked a skill in photography. You've picked a skill in editing. Let that not be the least place you're at. Look for ways to grow. Look for mentors. Look at what is happening in the industry. Push yourself to learn in that area, and not just in the area that you've learned here, but also explore other skills that are related to what you've learned. Like if I learned editing and photography, there are also other areas in media that I need to empower myself in. Make sure you practice. We say practice makes perfect. Now we've graduated. Don't wait for the perfect time, but I need to have this camera, I need to have this edit suit. With what you have, practice. Practice. And in this era where we have social media, you don't need to be in a media house, you don't need to be employed for you to start doing content. Most of you are in the space of creating content. So with what you have, start and keep growing, keep sharpening yourself. And as I said this, from my own life, I am a medical doctor, but I keep asking myself, for me to be able to be better at what I'm doing right now, what do I need to do? So one of the things I've done, when I shifted from full-time medicine and I started managing Talanta Institute, I realized that I need to grow myself in the area of leadership, in the area of management. And with that, I applied to do an MBA, and I'll be graduating soon in September. I'm doing an MBA at Strathmore University. But I'm also picking other skills, other entrepreneurship skills. I'm doing a few courses online because I don't want to get to that place where I feel I have arrived, because there is always a higher level to go to. There is always a new skill to learn. So I'm challenging all of us. Let us not arrive. Let us not say, now I've graduated, this is it. No, for those who did certificates, there's a diploma, there's a possibility of a degree, there's a possibility of even PhD. Today we are honored to have Dr. Zippy, who's, at that level, who's gone ahead of us, and not just even in the area of academics, just polishing yourself and picking other things. It doesn't need to be through the school way, but there's always what you can learn from your friends, from the internet. There are so many podcasts. So my challenge for today is keep growing. And the last thing I would want to talk about is, I know most of us, as we make a decision to do our first course, whether it's a certificate, a diploma, a degree, we make these decisions when we are very young, maybe in your early 20s. Most of us, that's where you are, our graduating class. And I'd want to challenge you that allow yourself to evolve, allow yourself to look at other areas. You may have been in media right now, but as you grow, you may notice that you have interest in other fields. You're young, you have a whole life ahead of you. Feel free to explore other areas. And the reason I'm telling you this is, again, as I said, I did medicine, but at some point I realized I had interest in media. I realized I'm very passionate about education and mentoring the young people. And that's why I joined the Talanta community. So I'm also giving you that challenge that in the course of life, if if the media area is where you love and that's where you want to grow into, it is okay, well and good. But if you ever get to a place and you feel, oh, maybe I should explore another field, feel free. Allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to explore other areas. But whether you remain in this field or go into a different field, be the best version of yourself. Wherever you are, always ask yourself, what is the next big thing in this area that I've chosen, in this new area that I've moved to? What is the best next thing? And what do I need to prepare myself to be at the top of this place that I've chosen? Sawa. Thank you so much. I think because of time, I leave it at that. And again, our graduating class, congratulations at Talanta. We are really proud of you. And this is home. If you need any assistance, we are always here. Thank you so much. I'll hand it over back to our able MC, Mr. Shadrach. Thank you so much, Shadi.
That was beautiful. That was powerful. Dr. Carol has talked about very key things, but the most important thing I've picked up from her speech is growth. If you're not growth, you're stagnant. You're not moving. You're not advancing in life, and even it does not even apply in your skill. It applies in every place of your life. If you're not taking a step to learn, to better your skill, you're stuck. Thank you again, Dr. Carol, for that speech. I hope our students have gotten something, and our fans and viewers. Thank you so much for keeping time, guys. Thank you so much. We are going to move on to the next speaker. Our keynote speaker actually was supposed to be Enos Olik. Enos Olik is a film producer. Is a film producer, na yeye ndio ametoa ile video ya wimbo ya nikikutazama. If you know that song, very well done. The color is nice. He's worked with a couple of artists, and I know you'll be coming along, if not today, but we'll let you know. But I want us to introduce our chief guest speaker, who's Dr. Zippy Okoth. I don't know what's up with the doctors. I think I should also edit my name and put a doctor so that I can be able to fit in this conversation. But I'm very humbled on that note, very humbled. So I want us to invite our online people are really doing great. Nikiitisha makofi wanaziweka pale, and that is very great. Nataka sasa niitishe yale makofi ya kilo. Ni kilo ama ni kilogramu? So I want us to put our hands together. When I say help me invite, cha, help me invite, cha. Naona pale makofi kwenye Facebook pale yamezidi yamechacha. Anyway, so I want us to invite. She'll be talking about education for today's dynamic world. I'm a music producer, by the way. Dynamics or dynamic means change. So she's going to be talking about education for today's dynamic world. Oh, chief guest, Dr. Zippy Okoth. Wapi makofi ya Dr. Zippy Okoth?
Is not an easy thing to do. Not many people are able to finish once they start their studies, and you have managed to do that. So, first of all, congratulations, and I wish you the very best. Today, I'm supposed to talk about education for today's dynamic world. As the name says, it is truly very, very dynamic. A lot of things have changed, especially when Corona happened last year. We realized we have so much within us, and yet we never exploit to our fullest potential. So what is education? A lot of people think going to school is education. I always say education is not about going to school. Education is about being empowered as a person. You have to be educated in your mind, as a person, not just being intelligent, not just being the best in your class. An educated person is seen more in the way they interact with people. So, are you educated even as you graduate? Are you educated? Are you someone who can deliver in the community? That is what education is. So, today I'll talk about a very few things. I'll talk about what do you need to be able to fit into the dynamic world right now. I always say be bold. Be bold, meaning do whatever it takes to be able to get your creative work out there. Don't be scared of what people will say. Be bold, do it. Think outside the box. Just do what you think needs to be done. Stop thinking that, oh, this has never been done. What will people think? If it has never been done, one thing I know is that if you don't do it, someone else will. So that tells you do it now before somebody else does it, because it's always the first person who gets the most profit. You know how it goes even with the bitcoins and stuff. The first person to do it is the person who gets the most profit. So be bold and do your best. When you're bold and you be the first and you push yourself out there and show the world what you have, then you will be able to get a lot from the world. The previous speakers have told you about how to get work within the community, within the industry. But I'll go on the side and to look at you as a person. Also, be you. Who are you? Whenever I have a class, I teach at Kenyatta University also, but whenever I have a class, my first lesson, especially with first years, is who are you? Anytime you sit down, always ask yourself, who are you? If education is taken away from you, anything you have acquired from the world is taken away from you, you ask yourself, who are you? That is about your personality, your character. I am a kind person. I am generous. I am forgiving. That is who you are. So, how can this take you far in the industry? You know, it is not wrong to be strong. It is not wrong to be powerful. It is okay. Everyone's personality has got a good attribute to it, and it also has got a weakness to it. Say, for example, we are all taught to be kind. Being kind has got a positive attribute to it, in that when you are kind, you're able to help others. But it also has a negative attribute in that when you're too kind, people take advantage of what? Of you. So it means you end up working for people and they never appreciate you. They take advantage of your time and all that. So be you, but know where the limits are. Then reinvent yourself. Keep reinventing yourself. It is not enough to say that what you have studied will take you far. It will take you far, but only to a certain degree in your life. Anytime there is an opportunity for you to learn, take that opportunity. Nowadays, there are a lot of webinars, a lot of workshops taking place online and even physically. Are you able to attend even the free ones? Because sometimes you can say, oh, I don't have money. But what about the free ones where you just need to create time in the evening or in the morning and attend them? So reinvent yourself by keeping on learning. Now that you're in the creative field, reinvent yourself by keeping doing, keep practicing. Well, sometimes students say, oh, what we were taught in class is never enough. It is definitely never enough. Even for somebody who studied law, it is never enough. They end up learning more when they go to practice. So it is not just in the film industry. It is not just in the theater industry. It is not just in the music industry. It is never enough. Whatever you're taught in class is never enough. You have to keep reinventing yourself. You have to keep practicing. You have to keep doing it. You have to keep doing whatever you need to do. Because the more you practice, the better you get. The greatest musicians in the world will tell you, even when they don't have a show, they have to keep practicing every day unless otherwise. So it is not about whether you have a shoot coming up. It's not about whether you have a production coming up. No, you practice so that you prepare yourself for the future. You prepare yourself for the next job. How many times have you gone online just to study the works of other directors? You want to become the best DOP, but you don't watch Kenyan content. And you are in Kenya. You only watch Hollywood content. You cannot be the best Kenyan DOP if you do not know what is going on in Kenya, if you do not know what's going on in South Africa, Nigeria, and if you do not know what's going on in the African film industry. You have to start by studying what is around you so that you can know the gap, so that you can know this is where they are, this is where we are as an industry, this is where the gap is, and how can I fill this gap? So that is what is happening. So how can you reinvent yourself? Practice, 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 and then work with others. And I repeat, work with others. Yeah. How can you be educated enough for today's dynamic world? Work with others. An educated person will know how to socialize. Like I said, education is not about getting a first class. It's about being empowered psychologically and emotionally. An educated person will know how to work with others. Yes, someone will tell you, oh, Zip is hard to work with, Rachel is hard to work with, Paul is hard to work with. It does not matter if they're hard to work with. You have to find a way to work with them. Because people who are hard to work with means they know what they want. So when they know what they want, you're not going to come here with, just trying to do things as to pass time. No, it means you have to find a way to work with them. If they are perfectionists, you have to find a way to work well with them. If they like keeping time, it means you have to be there 10 minutes before they arrive. Learn to work with people. Learn to listen. You have to learn to listen to people so as to know now people are joking, now people are serious. You have to learn to work with people to know how does somebody like their work done. Let me say for in the film industry, there are people who want to have a DIT person as they shoot you downloading, but there are people who want their work downloaded at the end of the shoot. What kind of person are you working with? You have to study them. You have to work with a team of people. For the people who are graduating right now, you will ask, where do I get an opportunity? The opportunity for you is with the people you have graduated with right now. Create cliques. People say cliques are bad. No, cliques are not bad unless you're doing something wrong with them. But cliques are the first step toward building teamwork. Create a clique within your classmates and start doing productions. Do simple productions with your phones. And now that you are an alumni of Talanta Institute, I know Paul Mukoma is very generous. If you go to him with a great idea, he will tell you, okay, here are the cameras, shoot this video, show it to the world. Soon people will be able to see your work. So what do you need to do? Create teams, create small teams. But as you create the teams, as you create the cliques, be somebody who can be able to work even with bigger cliques. Don't tell yourself, I cannot work with so-and-so, I cannot work with that team. No. Work with your clique, but be open enough to be able to go and work with another what? Another group and another team when called upon. Because teamwork is strength. We are told that in primary school. Oh, moja ni nguvu. It is not just about carrying stones up. It's all about also intellectual power of thinking. When you think together, you think faster. When you are in a crisis, you will be able to find easy solutions if you are working as a team. Then volunteer. Today's generation don't like volunteering. Sometimes I ask myself whether I'm today's generation or not. But yes, I am today's generation, but slightly in the older generation. But the people graduating in the last 10 years or so do not like volunteering. Some of us, we were only able to reach where we are because of volunteering. And we are not talking about volunteering where you're being paid. No, it is not that we are saying you will never be paid, but when you volunteer, it means you are giving your time and your resources free of charge. If you get paid, well and good. If you don't, it's okay. At my age right now, at the stage and status of my life right now, I volunteer 50% of my time. Yes. And that one has been able to reward me a lot because when you volunteer twice, you get one extra paid opportunity. Anytime you volunteer, people think about you more. And that means when an opportunity comes along, you are the first person in their mind. And so they will always be calling you as the first alternative. They say, let me call Zippy. You know, the other time she was here and she did for us this free of charge. I don't think she will refuse this, especially now that you're paying. Let us have this and give it to her. And I have been able to get opportunities. When I was young, I volunteered like I think full time. In this industry, it is hard to get paying jobs. But how do you get yourself to be paid? You get yourself to be paid by starting to be volunteering. When you volunteer, you end up being part of a team. And when you're part of a team, they will soon think about you when they are paying jobs. So volunteer, one, so that you can get jobs. Volunteer two, so that you can sharpen your skill. And volunteer also for the third reason, for the sake of humanity. If nobody in this world volunteer their time, resources, and money, then there would be no gift to be given. Even Talanta Institute, when it was being conceptualized, the founders volunteered their time, they volunteered their resources, and they started from something small. And look at what it has grown into. It is because they volunteered. So, as a graduate, if you do not volunteer, will you ever grow into something big enough? So, always volunteer and then create the opportunity. Yes, people are looking for opportunity. I am an actor, I am a camera person, I can edit. Create the opportunity. Do not wait for opportunity. The one thing I love about learning or studying in the creative industry is that yes, you can be employed, but you can create the employment. How do you create the employment? By creating the opportunity. As we said, I will stress again, create a team. But don't create a team of like minded people. If you create a team of like minded people or same skill, then you'll not go far. When you're creating a team, say 5 people. Let one person be a great director. Let one person be great at camera work. Let one person be great at editing. And let the other two be great at production or even acting and performing. And when you create that team, do not underestimate what somebody else is bringing in. Never think that somebody else is bringing in something too little than another one. Because the moment you start having that kind of thought in a team, then you weaken your team. You have to appreciate everyone at every level. Never at any moment think, okay, the actor is just doing acting, the person who's doing camera is doing more work. No. If you didn't have the actor, then that team would not be as strong as it is. If you didn't have the editor, that team will not be as strong as it is. So create a team, but respect the team members. Okay? So create the opportunity to work. When you are working together, create short films. Nowadays, we have got a lot of festivals. I mean, let's start with the Lake International Pan African Film Festival. We have that. Submit there. Go to Kalasha Film Market. Submit there. There was just a pitching workshop the other day. Submit there. Right now, they have got the Fun Film Challenge. Submit there. Never get tired of submitting to festivals, of submitting to competition or challenges. Because in those submissions, whether you are accepted or not, you are sharpening your skills, you're meeting other people. You may be nominated, you may not be nominated, but the one thing is, every time when you see that is what the winner was, you can be able to look at your work. And honestly, anytime you do not win, you can tell yourself, I think that film was good because it had this and this and this. Maybe next time I can do this. So, what am I saying? Create the opportunity, by working together, by always seeking these opportunities. And don't be ashamed of starting small. Yes. Our current young people, like, I want to win 1 million and I want to start big. I want to join this organization as the chief camera person, as the DOP. No, no one is going to employ you as a director straight from college. Why? Because they also already have a director whom they trust. And so they're going to give you an opportunity to showcase what you are. And so if you refuse to get into this team as a set runner, as a second assistant director, do you think they will even allow you to be a first assistant director? No. And if they can't allow you to be a first assistant director, do you think they will allow you to be a director? No. But how do you become a director? People like Tosh Gitonga will tell you they were a third assistant director before they even got a chance to be a first assistant director until they become a director. If you want to be in the DOP team, start by seeing by just helping around, carrying how do you call it, cleaning cables, you know. Then from there you can be a camera assistant, second camera assistant. Then slowly learn to do focus pulling, and then you can even be allowed to be the DOP. Things take time. Great things and beautiful things take time. Some people will say, okay, there are people who they made their first big movie and it made it to the world. That is just 1% of people. Are you sure you are among the 1%? But even this 1%, when they did that, they did not know that they would be that lucky. So because you're not sure that you're among the 1%, accept to start small. And if you get lucky to be able to shoot a rocket up there, fine. If not, you can climb the stairs slowly. And one day, you never know. Then never lose hope. One thing that happens in our industry is people lose hope too fast. Yes, there are no jobs in the creative industry. That is what you will be told. But then again, there are jobs in the creative industry. How comes other people are having jobs? It's because they kept the faith. They kept working in smaller jobs within the industry until they were able to get their breakthrough. And this is not just in the creative industry. We're even in teaching, even in medicine. People come from medicine school and they start as what? As junior doctors, as medical assistants, and they rise up, they specialize, and they become great doctors. So why do you want to skip the ladder? You know, so be ready to start small. And if you're lucky, you might shoot the rocket. If you're not lucky, then you will be lucky in simple steps. And I always say, be nice. It doesn't hurt to be nice. Just be nice. Uh, if you are nice, you will get more opportunities than the person who is very skilled and not nice. And I repeat, it does not matter if you are the best in your class, if you're the most knowledgeable in an area, but if you are not nice, no one will give you an opportunity. And being nice is being simple, being nice to people. If somebody asks you where's the direction to, to the generator, tell them that's where the generator is, and you can go, you can go start it like this. Show people how to do things. Even bring tea, serve people tea. I always tell people there's nothing wrong with serving people tea. It doesn't make you any less or more of something else. There's nothing wrong with serving people tea. I serve people tea a lot of times. And I see nothing wrong with this. And serving tea, even at this point of my life, has opened a lot of opportunities for me. But beyond that, can people send you, even just for airtime? Can people trust that they're going to send you without you saying, oh, why? Must you always pull your neck to have a long face when you're sent to bring stuff? If somebody tells you, help us offload the car of this equipment, are you going to say, I did it yesterday, not today? No. Jovially do it. When you do something with a jovial heart, people will always remember that because you made them feel that you are doing this out of your own goodwill. A lot of my students will tell you, I teach, let me say, half my class. We teach things off the syllabus because I tell myself, when you go to the industry, it is about character that's going to open opportunities for you. So be nice, but have your boundaries. volunteer, yeah, reinvent yourself. Right now during COVID, don't say, okay, we are at home, we can't shoot. You can shoot, you can produce, you can meet groups of 5 and still do something. Reinvent yourself. The industry will not stop because COVID is happening. The world needs us more right now. And then use your talent to change the world. I ask myself, what are you shooting? What kind of stories are you shooting? Because that is what will change the world. You know, a lot of our audiences don't really care about quality. That's what you are told, right? However, just remember, a lot of our audience are educated, so they know good quality. And so when you talk about good quality, we also mean quality of stories. So when you give them good stories, they will always come back for more. When you give them trashy stories, they will come and laugh and forget. One day they'll ask, that person who used to do trashy stories, are they still there? But when you give good stories, stories that are sharing about how people are living, what's happening in the world, you know, people will always remember. And 10 or 20 years down the line, they will always want to watch that. How many of us still watch Sarafina? Because we know it was fighting for our freedom, you know. How many of us have watched From a Whisper? From a Whisper is a Kenyan movie. How many of us have watched Nairobi Half Life? Have watched Supermodel? And how many of us have watched Midlife Crisis? I have to talk about my movie too, you know, because these are movies that are talking about real issues happening in real time. It does not matter what happens now. 20 years down the line, people will still watch them because the issues being talked about in them are timeless. So you can still do short films. Start by doing short films. And when you have the time and money, you can do great films. Rachel talked about collaboration, and Kagiri also talked about collaboration. These are things that you cannot stop doing. Doing film is very expensive. So how do you leverage the costs? Collaborate. Get people who have camera, get people who have a studio, and collaborate with them and create something beautiful. But most of all, what are you going to use your skill in? Are you going to use your skill to trash on others, or are you going to use your skill to build on others? Because it's not about you. When we talk about film, when we talk about creative arts, when we talk about theater, music, film, visual arts, it's not about you entirely. You are just a messenger. It's the world that receives whatever you give them through your work. Are you going to change the world? Are you going to change the perception of what they believe in? How are you going to impact the world through your work? We are not saying just create educational stuff, but even if it makes me laugh, how am I going to enjoy it? A lot of us love comedy, yes, because it makes us think of the life that we have. It makes us think of the opportunities that we have, and it helps ridicule our life as it is. So even if you are having comedy, how is it changing somebody's life? I need to watch a good comedy to laugh, to release my stress. That is changing somebody's life. So, how good is your work? How impactful is it? So, let us create works that are able to change people, that are able to grow people, but are also able to grow us. So that when somebody watches this work, whether it is after 1 month, after 1 year, after 10 years, they can still look for us and say, I want the person who did this. This is the kind of mind that I like. Okay. And just as I wrap up, I just want to tell us, engage others and enjoy what you do. If you enjoy what you do, the world will enjoy it too. But if you don't enjoy what you do, the world will not be able to enjoy. It's like cooking. If you enjoy cooking, people will enjoy what you cook. But if you just cook for the sake of cooking, people will also eat your food for the sake of eating. So, what are you cooking with your skill? What are you cooking with your skill? And when you get that opportunity, do not forget to hold the hand of one more person up there. We don't want you to help the whole world, just one person at a time. When you get an opportunity, always remember there's an opportunity for somebody else. And trust me, the industry is big enough for everyone. Sometimes I hear people talking about these old actors, we are having the same faces in the industry. Where do you want these actors to go? They were 20, now they want roles of when they are 40, then they'll need roles when they are 60. The same way as a teacher, you are a teacher from the time you're 20 to the time you retire at 60. So there is enough space for everyone. The people who have been in the industry are not going to go anywhere. So question is, how can you get your space? Because the space is there. How can you get your space? The same things I have said. Be nice, volunteer, reinvent yourself, keep practicing, and be bold. Don't be scared to be the first to do something that's out of this world. Be bold. Let people remember you for something. Okay? Let people remember you for something. But let that something not take you to prison. That will be my final words. As you graduate, I just want you to remember, be educated. We have got two types of people: educated illiterates and educated people. Are you an educated illiterate or are you an educated person? If you are an educated person, humility will be your strength. And humility is not about being quiet. Humility is about knowing the right time to do something and having the integrity to do the right thing always. And so with those few words, I just want to say congratulations to the graduating class of 2021. Despite the pandemic, be limitless and be bold. Thank you so, so much.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Dr. Zippy, you are nice. Just like you said, you are nice, because I can't echo everything that you've said. You've just zoomed into the heart and art of a creative. I hope ukamba ijaniuza, the heart and art of a creative. You are nice, just like you said. Thank you so much. And that was wonderful. Asante watu wa Facebook kwa makofi. Naona makofi ni mingi. Itiririke pale. Just to big up a few people, just very fast. Zipora Wangare, who's saying that she's a proud mother of Maureen. She's saying that she's proud and she's saying congratulations. Frida, big up to you. Sheila, blessing, Karibu. Ras Michael, big up on yourself. If you're a true Ras, big up on yourself. God bless, On a light note, Rose Modoni, Peterson Juguna, Talanta Institute, you also tuned in to ourselves. Thank you, Jedida Kanyoro, and any other person who's online and on board. You are a great person. Someone great. Hii generation tunaita mabazu. There is someone great who's a video producer that I really follow, and I'm not even introducing him from a professional perspective. He's a friend of mine, and he's the keynote speaker of today, and I really want to introduce him in a great way. So watu wa online, wapi makofi sasa? Watu wa online, I hope you're ready, because I'm about to introduce one of the best film producers in Kenya right now. He's a keynote speaker. Give it up for Mr. Enos Olik. If you're ready, Mr. Enos Olik, we are here. You're talking about the value of training for the new world.
Good day. I'm supposed to say good morning, but I think time has gone. It's almost lunchtime. My name is Enos Olik. I'm a filmmaker, born and raised in Nairobi, Kenya, and I'm so glad to be here. And it's always I'm always very happy when I see, of course, young people doing wonderful things, and people graduating, and people making, let's say we make moves, and it's always a happy moment for me when I witness this. So I'm very glad and I'm very honored to be here, but part of Talanta Institute, to also share just my story, and of course to encourage the guys who are graduating and to come into this new world. Me being part of the industry, of course, I've had a little bit of experience, especially with our industry, our filming industry, and generally all over the world, shooting and filming, and it's been a very good journey. And every person that I usually meet who's always wanting to know my story, like where did you start from, how can I be there? I'm always intrigued, because I remember some years ago I was just at that same place. And I've always, even at that time, I was always wondering how can I go to the next step? How can I do this? How can I become this? And when I was starting, everything seemed so unreal, and it was impossible. But with the grace that we had from the people who are in the industry, from the people who held our hands, we've been doing well, and it's all been a smooth ride, I may say. So I may just start from, I can start from my journey, from how I started. I went, I can start from, I went to Upper Hill School. That's where I did my secondary. And Upper Hill School is known for doing a lot of entertainment and music and drama. I was very active in the drama and the music clubs in school. And I think that's where some of my passion, especially in terms of music and drama, started. From drama club. Immediately I finished school, and at that time we were waiting. Yeah, at that time it's not like this time where you finish 2 months later you have the results. So at that time we were waiting for the results, and what I did, I enrolled in a school just to learn visual effects, animating, graphic design, and that's where some part of my passion now for editing started. At that time I used to be in a band. I used to sing in a band. So at that time, I'd sing in a band, and I'll also do some graphic works. And slowly, it became very hard for us to shoot music videos. And we realized it very soon, because every single place we were going, people are charging us. And at that time, we're getting quotations for like 20K. The guys were like, "Wataka tukufanyie video, utatulipa 20K." And that time 20K was very hard for us because we weren't working, we had just some knowledge, and we were just hustling. So getting even 20,000 was a lot of money from that time. So I decided, why not, let me pick a camera and start with our band, and we start doing videos. And that's when we just did a very simple video somewhere on YouTube. And immediately I did that video because I borrowed my friend's camera, a Canon 5D. We did a video, I edited it on one of our borrowed laptops, and we went for one interview on one of the local stations. I think it was NTV, in the morning show. We did an interview, and there was another pal of mine who saw the video and was like, "Who did your video?" And I was like, "I'm the one who did it." But just a simple video. It was just dancing with guitars at the background on a green screen. So that guy happened to be from a group called Kelilete Katifu. And they had a song with Holy Dave. And they had a song, the song was called Nemso. And that's when I did my very first video. So for me, when you're sitting down planning the video, we'll have a meeting and they'll be like, "What's your idea?" And for me, I was like, "Let me listen to the song." And I listened to the song and I'm like, I can hear like omena. There's a place you're talking about omena and some food. So I just told them, "Go and bring for me omena, food, and come." People say rende, kuja na rende. So they came a group, we shot it on a green screen. I went and edited the video. And when I was editing it, I realized, because I had this grand idea when I was doing the video, I was like, the green screen, I'll remove all the green screen, I'll put graphics here and there. I was selling something very big. When I was editing, I realized I'm not able to do it at that time because, of course, time and also resource in terms of what I wanted to do. So I ended up doing the whole video in black and white. And black and white ended up making it look very unique. And that's why I did my first video. It's called Nimso. It got played for Beat of the Week. Then I started getting inquiries for more people. Ended up now working with the likes of Octopizzo. Moving forward, I worked with for Octopizzo. I did a lot of his videos from Evo. Went ahead now. I had some personal friends who were in the same school. Those were Sauti Solo. And all this time, we're always planning to do something. So finally, it reached a point. And we used to meet with them, and they used to tell me, "You continue doing the videos. When you're ready, we'll come to you." And finally, we got a chance to work with them on a song called Still the One. It got a lot of views. We ended up doing a couple more songs with them, Sauti Sol, from Nishike, Surayako, and a couple more from that. And it really immediately I worked with South Soul, it really opened, of course, my view in terms of how I interact with these artists from in Kenya and outside Kenya. And from that time, I started working with a lot of artists from Tanzania, do Uganda. I'll deal with artists from all over Africa. And I went on like that, and I did a lot of songs and videos for different artists. Now going forward, I then realized that it is also important for me as a creative to always just try and think of something different or something else that I can do. Yeah, of course, now to further my knowledge, my skills. And I realized that there was this industry of TV commercials, of narrative documentaries, and all this other film-related stuff. So I decided, let me venture out, as much as this is my love, and my love is doing music videos. But say, let me venture out into doing now TV commercials. At first, it was not easy. I started out trying to pitch to different clients, and most of the clients that we had were run by let's say, agencies. And there are people who had very proper, let's say, showreels of what they have done. So it was very hard trying to get into the industry at that time. But I had a very good team, the ones that we used to do all the videos with. We started small, started pitching, started doing like demo TV commercials. We started pitching them to different companies, and would hook it to different companies, different people, try and look for friends who are working at different companies. Would, for example, shoot an idea of somebody wearing like headphones or a product. Then we edit the video and go and try and sell it to the company. Most of them were like, no, we like it, but we're already working with other people, until we just got a break on one client that client now, when he did that project for them, it was a company called UAP Insurance. We did a campaign for them. Immediately now, after that, we realized now I have a showreel because I have this actual job that I've done. So I use that any place. I continue doing, I continue doing the same thing to different companies, doing demos, trying to sell them to different companies. But now the good thing, this time when I was trying to sell it to different companies, I already had a showreel. So I was going and showing them, this is what I've done, this is what I'm planning to do for your idea. And I still do it up to today, until now, where the showreel now got bigger and bigger, and it's always gradual from one job to the other one. And I was very persistent in terms of how I push those demos. And later on, after doing TV commercials, I jumped into now doing movies. And the movie is the same thing. At that time, when I was trying to get into the movie industry, there was a program run by a company called One Fine Day, and they're getting young people who are in the industry, and they're trying to mentor them into doing like movies. So they'll get you, and they'll get a mentor from Hollywood or from the big international platforms. Then they come and mentor us as we do a movie. And we actually shot one movie. It's called Supermodel. I was a cinematographer for the whole movie. And at that time, as much as I was getting into that industry, I was getting there as I was learning. And I wasn't getting there because I'm expecting to be paid whatever amount or the thousands and all that, but I was trying to get knowledge so that I can better my skill as a filmmaker. We did a film, it went well, and even went ahead and got shortlisted for the Oscars. So for me, having that tag and having that in my showreel, it has really helped me now grow into further things. So me being here today, I was trying to, when I was being called, of course, to share my thoughts and also share with the graduates. And my topic was, how do you train for the new world? Yeah. And when you talk about the new world, what do you mean? Like, what is the new world? And for me, I take the new world being, you can take it in different ways. You can look at it at different ways. For me, when I was starting out initially, the social media was not that big. Yeah. Like things will happen at that time. It's not that old. I think that's like about 7, 8 years ago when I started. Social media was there, but it wasn't that big. There wasn't the platforms that you're using right now. At that time, they weren't very robust. So it was more of how are you selling yourself? And when social media, the advent of social media came, it brought a lot of opportunities to a lot of people. And people realized that this is the new form. And there was a very big debate when people are trying to move from analog to digital. And there's a lot of, it's a new world, it's a new thing which is happening. And to be honest, it's something that came, even up to today, people are still trying to figure out about social media. But when it comes and you're left behind, because you're always trying to fight it, you'll end up losing a lot because everybody is trying to get into the new world. And for me, the new world, let me call it the digital world. And with the digital world came a lot of things. Now we have Netflix. Now we have a lot of social content. Like you can get to somebody's Instagram page. It's actually, that's a TV station because that person is feeding you all the content that you want. That's why you're always following the people who got a lot of likes because maybe their content are more interesting than most people. And me looking at it that way, I'm always trying to figure out how can I maximize this digital age to also fit what I'm doing here. You get a lot of us, the people who are always behind the camera, behind the scenes, doing everything behind the scenes. We're not so vocal when it comes in front of the camera, but with the digital age, you're able now to use it to your advantage. I can speak in my context. I'm always using my social media just to update people in terms of course, apart from where I'm going or where I'm traveling, I'm always updating people in terms of what I'm doing, the current projects that I'm doing, and I'm always getting a lot of inboxes from different people who have graduated and people who have been, let's say, in the industry. Everybody's always like, can I come join you? I want to do something with you. I need you to hold my hand. I need you to do this. And I'm always giving them the same answer. At the end of the day, it's all about how much you push yourself. As much as somebody holds your hand, if you're not disciplined enough, if you're not focused enough, if you're not that patient, it doesn't matter. Even for us, when we're starting out, we're always trying to get somebody to hold our hands. But we never got because everybody was so busy, everybody had their own schedule, and it was more of making yourself. Yeah. I get a lot of people who ask me, this thing that you're doing, how did you learn? And I always tell them I learned on the job. I started with whatever knowledge that I had, and because now social media is now very big, and that's why it's very important. Social media is a very powerful and important tool to all aspiring people who are trying to get into let's say the digital world. Let me call it the new world or the digital world. I used to download a lot of tutorials from operating cameras to doing all these sorts of technical things on camera, on set. Before I'd go on set, I'd go online, try and Google the camera that I'm using, how to turn it on. Nowadays, we're joking in the office, like, it's so easy to get anything online. You can go and ask how to walk next to a crocodile, and you'll get somebody with a tutorial video. So it was very easy for me with the digital age. I had a drive, I had a very big drive, like a 1 terabyte drive, where I used to download all tutorials that I could get online. Any person, any site talking about tutorial, I'll download and keep it on the hard drive, and I'll read about it, and I'll also watch it. Because the thing about the digital age and the new world is everybody can access it. Yeah, and you get somebody from different part of the world. He'll wake up and he'll be able to access the same thing you're also accessing. But how do you stand out? You also stand out because you need to better your skills. You need to always be on the lookout on what is a new trend, what is happening, what is going on out there, because that's what makes you stand out. As much as you have that skill and you have that talent, everybody now can access everything. And when I go online, when I go Facebook, when I go YouTube, I have an option of different content that I can decide to follow. So it depends on what I want and what is very enticing to me and how you stay ahead of your curve. You're always training. People always joke about me. I'm always reading. Because every single day there's a new technology happening. Every single day, even what you've learned on school and what you're learning even right now, By the next day, there's already a new technology. There's always a new camera. There's always a new equipment which is coming out. And if you're able to be ahead of the curve and always just trying to look out for the new trends that are happening, you're able to be ahead of your pack. Everybody is accessing it, but you're always ahead because you're always one step forward in terms of looking at new technologies and looking at what is happening around you. So I'm saying, what I can say is, why is it, somebody might ask, why is it important to train for the new world? Why is it important to be there? Because it gives you an infrastructure to collaborate with different people all over the world. Yeah. Me being a filmmaker and being a creative content producer, I'm able to immediately connect with people who are doing the same thing in, for example, Vancouver. For example, I was fortunate enough to go to Hollywood, and I'll still get there and connect with people who I connected when I was here. And I'd gone to Hollywood just to better my skills, and I came to realize that the same thing that I'd gone to do there, I can as well even connect with the people, and I'm always connecting with them when I'm even down here at my place. So it gives you an infrastructure to collaborate. Being on Facebook, I can talk to another filmmaker who is at Hollywood, either upcoming or known, and maybe they might respond. So I'm able to collaborate, and most of the time, that's what I came to realize, most of the time these people are always willing to help. As much as you're not supposed to be very heavily reliant on people, it's always help when you talk to a certain person and they give you feedback. Every time I meet somebody and ask me a question, I'm always willing to help them. So I can access the media. There's a lot of opportunity. I can access information. This is the digital world. And when I'm able to access information, like for example, if I just go online and just ask, and just type looking for cinematographers or looking for editors, looking for content creators in Ghana right now, I can get information in terms of who are the people who are leading there. I can also get information in terms of the people who are always looking to collaborate. So once in a while, I'm always going online trying to look for, and I randomly search like looking for people to collaborate with in Kenya. And immediately I start getting people who have posted either online or the social media trying to get people to collaborate down here. And I've been able to get like 3 jobs from just doing that. And you get the people who are coming maybe to Kenya and they want people to collaborate with, and you find yourself working with those people. So it's also a way of collaborating with people. What makes the world digital? I just read some questions in terms of what people might ask. What makes the world digital? Right now, there's a very big advent of social stations, and technology. For example, you have the Netflix, we have the Showmax, we have the iFlix, Amazon Primes. The media, it's called a new wave of media. It's very futuristic because as much as you get, people always joke, let's go on Netflix and chill. It's turned to be a new way in terms of how we deliver content. And how can I get to Netflix? Because everybody's always trying to get, people are always asking, hey, I'm doing this thing, I want to sell it to Netflix. I'm like, your page is your own Netflix. Your own content, or your own YouTube page, because it's very important to, and I like what Dr. Azipi said, you have to train, you have to keep on training daily. And having your page, having your YouTube, having your Facebook page. I'm always very big with if you're doing something, share it, because that's a place where now you're sharing it to the world. People are able to see what you're doing. If you're either doing fashion styling, you're either doing editing, you're either doing any kind of thing. Somebody can see that and people can comment. So you have that ability to receive analytics. Like you can see how many people view this, how many people like this. You can be very fortunate enough to try and test out different things until you can notice that there's something that when you post, you get a lot of likes and a lot of feedback. So those are some of the advantages of using the social media. What are the disadvantages of the social media or the new age or the new trend? cyber, they call it cyber terrorism. There's a lot of complexity in terms of how people always sort of talk about algorithms, yeah, and how system runs. But you always there's always a lot that you can do about it. And the best way, I think, how to work around it is always just trying to do your best, trying out new stuff, trying out all the things that you can. Just to be experimental, do experimental stuff, post there. There's always disadvantages of in terms of bullying and all that. You might put your stuff. There's somebody who's not even the person who doesn't even know you. Be the first one to say this thing is bad, this thing doesn't work, this thing is bad. But use that as a point of just use the positivity for that. If this person is saying it's bad, you can ask him, why do you say it's bad? They'll say, I don't like the color, I don't like the editing, I don't like the design. Then you work around from that because you're getting active criticism. And that's for me, that's how I grew, because I would post anything. I would never be afraid of posting anything. Even if you tell me this thing is bad, I'll be the first one to blast my name all over it because I'm proud of it. And when people see you're proud of something, you build from it. Advantages, I can go again, collaboration, you're able to communicate, access to analytics, which are very important, seeing how people are liking this, how this is going, and this, it will really shape you in terms of what content you are producing. And the future is actually the media, the future of the media is actually there in the digital, and that's what you're calling the new world. And as new technologies emerge, yeah, there's emergence of VR, augmented reality. There's a lot of opportunities that you can get. People always trying to stick to what maybe they've learned, what they've stuck with. Go out there and try and do anything. Yeah. The moment you fail, that's when you realize this thing doesn't work, so that you can try a new thing. And it just takes words. It takes more than words, because you can always say, just go there and try. It takes a lot of work, patience, and a lot of discipline. And I'm also coming to the end. How do you prepare for the future? And you prepare the future. I put down a list of things in terms of how you prepare for the future based on my own experiences. One of them, you have to train. These are where you train. You train for the technical or the technology. If you randomly just come to me and ask me like what is a new system of that we're shooting with the cameras, I'll tell you without even looking anywhere, because I'm always constantly trying to train for new technologies. Because I'm in that industry, I will train for what is a new sensor, what new sensor Canon are coming out with, what new camera is expected to come this year, because I'm in that industry. So you have to train for technology, and you have to be very technical. And I'm always trying to, even from my team, I'm always trying to get people to understand the technical bits. Because if I understand the technical bits, for example, the camera, and I'm a wardrobe person, it's not directly in what I'm doing, but what it will help my decision when I'm trying to get, let's say, styling and wardrobe colors that work with the camera, and understand this camera. It works best with certain colors, certain patterns. So being a part of that industry, I'm always encouraging people, learn everything. Yeah, try and be technical. Try and understand what is happening. Try and understand. I can't be in a film set and somebody asks me what is a tripod, and I'm like, I don't know what a tripod is. That's not my work. I'm only dealing with paperwork. Learn all this part. It doesn't mean you have to be good at them, but learn these technical parts. That is what helps you. Being, for example, a producer and having learned the technical parts of the camera, you can be able to understand, for this particular job, I might need this. And now the good thing that you have, especially when you're always starting out, you have the liberty of learning and gaining all this knowledge. The moment you get on set, the moment you get your first job, people will be amazed that this person knows a lot, and it's always an added advantage. So one, technical and technology. Two, quality, yeah, and quality, we call it KEBS. These are the standards. You have to put standard. Whatever you're doing, it has to be the uttermost standard. And because of the digital world, I'm able to see what other people, if I log on Instagram right now, I'll be able to follow, for example, colorists all over the world, and I'll be able to see what standard that they're putting with. in terms of the quality of work. So I'll always train, and that's how I train for quality. You have to train for quality. You have to better your standards. You have to always put your standard. Even if you're trying out, and even if you're starting out, start out with the highest level of quality that you're able to get. Skills. How do you train for your skills? I'm always, regardless of having learned all this time, I'm always trying to every single day read out in terms of the new skills, read out on the new ways people are doing stuff. People are color grading, people are editing. What skills do you use the skills that you just learned from school? You've graduated now, I'm an editor, I'm an animator. Learn daily, go and try and figure out what people are doing. Ask everybody around and always try and improve your skill. And as part of that is, what I can say is also be very cognizant in terms of what is happening around you, especially legally. Be very assertive in what you're doing, and for that, and for as I finish the last part, and I've always been asked, like, what are the qualities that will make you be very successful? And I'm always looking at this. Let's say 4 points. You have to be very determined. Yeah, and I'll talk with my experience. I'm very determined. I didn't start on a silver platform, but with my determination is what got me to where I am. Skill. You have to have skill, and all this you can gain. No one is born knowing how to edit or how to design or how to do anything. It's a skill that you acquire. So anybody can acquire any skill. But if you're determined and you add a skill and you have that passion, yeah, you just have to, either your passion is money, I don't know. Either your passion is you want to get out of where you are right now, or your passion is driven by you wanting to be the best ever that has ever been in Kenya or the whole world. You have to have a passion. And when you have all that, you have determination, you have skill, you have passion, you need to add the sugar. And that's a discipline. You have to be very disciplined. You have to wake up knowing I'm going to do this job. You have to be very disciplined. You have to be very dedicated into that. And that's what sets people aside. It's very easy saying them, oh, passion, skill, determination, and discipline. But if you don't put all those together, then that's where the next person, that's where your neighbor is going to be past you, because these are the secret ingredients. And the last points that I can add to you, go out there, do best that you can from what you have. Start small. We're always talking about something called ignition points, like I have an idea, how do I move on from there? You have an idea, then what is always coming next? For example, I have this big idea of starting whichever thing you want to start. You always have to ask yourself, okay, where do I get the capital? Because people are always saying, sina pesa, I don't have any capital, where do I start? I always believe, like, your talent is your capital. Like, for me, my talent of shooting, that's my capital. Use that to leverage whatever you can from different people. You also have to check what is your target market. For me, I check my target market. Is it the same age group that you are in? Is it the same people that have gone to school? You have to have those details in you. What is your target market? So you have your idea. I have an idea of starting an editing company. I don't have money to buy the laptop. I don't have money to buy that. But your capital, you have your talent. You can go and volunteer to work on different projects for people and maybe gain, for example, capital, or you can do something in exchange to get something. So your mind is your capital. I have that. What is my target market? I'm targeting people who are doing weddings, people who are doing that. You have to understand, how do they work? Do they like going to people's office? Do they like doing this? What thing? You have to do a very good research. After doing the research, then we get to the strategy. What is your marketing strategy? What are you going to use? Am I going to start going out there? And this comes to a very important point, networking. You have to go out there. I have to go, my people that I've graduated with, I have to go to different events, go to symposiums, go and look for people who are doing the same thing, network with them. You're always networking. Either if you're having a party, it's just a weekend that you're not working, go and network. Every person that you meet with, they have to know, like, if I'm going to your page, social media, Within the first like 10 posts, I have to know this person is in this industry. This person is an actor. This person is an animator. This person is an editor. This person is a director. I have to know that. You have to network. You have to have a very good strategy. Me, my strategy has always been, for me, I let my work speak for myself. I'm always behind the scene. My work will speak first. If you go to my social pages, the first 10 pages, you'll understand what I do. You like, this person works in this industry. So if you're, for example, an editor, and I go to a page and maybe I just see you posting pictures of swimming, I might think you're a lifeguard. So you have to be very strategic in how you market. And of course, and the last part is, what is your future goal? Where are you seeing yourself 5 years from now? And if you know that, then you are able. For example, I'm seeing myself 5 years starting an editing company, then I'll start working backwards to where I am right now. So, and I'll start putting milestones. I'll be like, within this first year, I have to get a laptop. Within the second year, I have to get an office. And that's how you break it down. You have your future plan. So from where I am right now, I have 1 year to get a laptop. How am I going to do this? Am I going to raise a rambe? Or am I going to work for people for free? Am I going to get this? Having that then combined with all of this makes you ready and makes you ready for the new world. And that's how you get ready for the future. And that's where the future will never pass you and you will always be on top. So my name is Enos Alik. I'm a filmmaker from Nairobi, Kenya. Hope you guys enjoyed that, learned something from that. Feel free to get in touch with me, connect with me, and let's share, let's make this world a better world. Thank you very much.
That was very powerful, as I feel already like I'm a video editor right now. So of course I have to go to class. But thank you, Mr. Enos, for such an informative session you've given us. I hope our students are really following, because it is more than just a graduation ceremony. I think this video, we need to go and rewatch it later and get a few points. But thank you so much, Mr. Enos. One thing that I understood from you is to be persistent. And one thing I should tell you from a personal point, I like your color grading. It is the only thing that made me to come and look after you and maybe seek for your information, for who you are, and to know you better. Your color grading is very perfect. Thank you for that. Just to make a few recognitions, I see Agnes Odero. I see Diana, I see Veronica, I see Rapshon, and Peterson Juguna, you're saying congratulations to your son, Samuel Kamau. Thank you for that. Benson Balasi, you're saying congratulations to Jagens Balasi. We have Peterson again. Thank you. We have Agnes Mutuo. We have Frederick Warui, Phyllis Manyara. We have Yvonne Becky. I think she was a student here. Yeah. We have Maureen Kekela. We have Ras Michael again. Ras Michael is really following. Zipora Muthiani. I think your parents to Samu Muthiani. Welcome. Eddie Manasseh, congratulations to your friend Rufus. I know these ones are film guys. Kibet Cherono, Chereno, that is, and the classmates. Yeah, the dean is here. Is going to read out the names sometimes later. We have Rachel again. Rachel, thank you. We have Sinde, very inspiring. We have Jose Mwangi, Jedida, and Rachel again. So thank you, guys. I'm going to take this to the next level. Sasa huu ndio wakati. This is the time when we invite our principal, and our principal is going to invite the dean of students so that we can finish up. We can hear the names. We can move to the now, the real deal. Kwa harusi kuna kwanga na wakati wa kukata keki. I think ndio wakati wa kukata keki. Ama ndio party ya vows. I think so. Anyway, and then our student Samuel Wabo, the best student in music production, is going to be joining us as well, but that will come later. Thank you so much. I have been your MC. Now we said I began as a music production lecturer, but it is important for me to be a doctor. I am Dr. Shadrach Maithia. Anyway, I'm Shadrach Maithia, a lecturer in music production, and I'm very humbled. Thank you for your patience, guys. Thank you for your patience, and I'm so humbled. We are so humbled as Talanta Institute. Congratulations again to the students. So wale watu wa makofi ya kilo pale kwenye
kwenye Facebook, pale pia tuko Twitter na tuko pia YouTube. We are Talanta TV on YouTube. Please, you can go and share our content. There is great content there. So watu wa makofi sasa tuanze kujipanga. Watu wa makofi za kilo. Tupambe makofi tunapomkaribisha mkurugenzi mkuu ama manbazu, the principal, Mr. Edwin Kuria. 1, 2, 3, let's go.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Our chief guest, Dr. Zippy Okoth, our keynote speaker, Mr. Enos Olik, our esteemed guests, Rachel Wainaina and Kerry Kagiri, our managing director, Dr. Caroline Juguna, and of course our VIPs today who are the graduates, without whom we would not be here today. And ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and thank you for inviting us into your homes, into your lives, and sharing this day with us, because this is a very happy day for us to celebrate, because the world is a much better place right now with everyone who's graduating today, because you have something to offer, and to make sure that we are walking into this new world together and in a very brazen mood. Now, the theme for today in our graduation in this year is training for the new world, because there's been a very big shift in the world, especially during this time in the pandemic, because as this has showed us, or this has taught us, a lot of things can shift and change. Whatever we knew to be the norm, whatever was constant, changed. And during that period, we've been able to see resilience, we've been able to see innovation, and more so from the graduating class of this year, because you had so many things thrown at you, so many destabilizations, but that did not sway your focus. That did not sway your progress. And all through, we've been able to see you go to greater heights and get to every level as we grow. Now, we're in a country where over 70% of us are the youth. And I say us because I put myself in that category. And it's an average of 19 years. So that tells us we are a very young population. And if there's any change or development to happen, it has to start with us today. Now, our guests and our speakers today have been very vocal about some of the things that you need to do. And I hope you're learning and taking these lessons. I hope you're applying these lessons, because some of the lessons that we've been told today, especially from our chief guest, Dr. Zippy, she talked about rebranding. If there's one thing that the pandemic has taught us, or this period of uncertainty has taught us, is that you have to keep rebranding and changing your priorities and picking up new skills for the world that is also changing at a very fast pace. So that's a challenge to you, that even as you go out there, do not wait for things to come your way. You have to be very aggressive and take things as they come. One of the other lessons that we've been told by Enos Olik is that you have to go for what you want. You can't just sit there and keep complaining and say, I don't have everything that it takes. You have to start. You have to start from somewhere. And that is why I know most of you right now may be asking yourselves, we've seen so many graduations this year. We've had so many students go out there. But for you as a Talanta student, what is it that makes you unique? What makes you stand out? Of course, there's a kind of training that we do, but I'd like to believe that what makes you stand out is more than the skill and the knowledge that we've imparted. It is the essential skills that every person at Talanta Institute is able to pick up. And before I invite the Dean, I think I'd like to leave you with 4 lessons, which I hope that every graduating student in Talanta Institute has picked up along the way, because that's our intention every time a student joins us to the time they graduate. Right now, we're in a world where skill is the new currency. It's not just enough to know, because if you know something, there's a million others who probably know the same thing and even are better than you. There are people who are able to also get their skills online, but you may ask yourself, what sets you apart as someone who joined Talanta Institute to learn these skills and to be able to put it out there in the world? And I'll tell you, the first thing in the essential skills that we have imparted in each one of you is to learn how to network. Network. Because when they say your network is a network, that's not just a cliche term that goes out there. You're only able to go as far as the people who surround you and the people who you decide to consult. So if today you decide to consult people who are not ambitious, who are not going after their dreams, then you'll find yourself stuck in a rut, at a place where you're also not getting much or exploring your full potential. So networking, I hope as you go out there, don't be timid. Learn to express yourself. Learn to ask for what you need. Learn to go for what you want. Because if you do not express your desires, or you do not express your goals and dreams, then you're not at a point where you're able to be helped. You're not able to make the next stride or get into the next level. The second essential skill that I am confident that every Talanta Institute student is going out there with is the gift to identify and seize the opportunities that are out there. We are in a culture where a lot of people keep saying that, oh, the opportunities are not there. We are focusing on the negative of the unemployment. But yet every day, we are seeing so many new opportunities coming up. A few years ago, you would not have thought that someone just being on social media is an entire career. They are able to earn from what they do online. Someone just creating content is able to earn a living and build a career that supports an entire team. So when you're thinking out there, I am sure and confident that every Talanta Institute student is able to identify the opportunities. Right now, everyone is complaining that times are hard. And indeed, they are hard because it's new territory. But it's new territory because change is happening. So if you choose to focus on the negative and keep saying times are hard, the times will pass. They'll become better, but for you, they'll still be hard because you failed to see the opportunities that are in this period. The unique opportunities that come with the world now just moving to the digital space. Even our graduation today is happening digitally. So you have to think and go a step further to ask yourself, what are the opportunities in the circumstance or the situation I find myself in, and how do I seize to make sure that I get the most out of them? The third point is collaborate. Now, if you've listened keenly from each and every speaker, from Kerry Kagiri, from Rachel, from Dr. Caro, from Enos, from Dr. Zippy, one thing has come out very clearly, that they've not been able to achieve what they've done and what they continue to achieve alone or by themselves. It is a result of collaborating. You can be the best by yourself, but it takes the best in a team. You know, if everyone has the capabilities to move forward, to be able to achieve even new heights and get to new levels of innovation. So don't sit down there and tell yourself, so okay, I'm the best in cinematography. That can only take you so far. Collaborate with others. Look for the best in script writing. Look for the best in lighting. Look for the best in marketing. Look for the best in distribution, so that when you put out your work or when you put out what you're best at, then it has a support system and it's able to reach a wide audience. So don't be afraid. Sometimes we sit back and tell ourselves, I might collaborate with someone and they steal my idea. But you would never kick off your idea if you don't even share it with the people, don't share it with the world. So that's a risk you should be willing to take. Again, even if someone steals your idea, they will never be able to translate a dream or a vision the best way you conceptualize it or how you saw it. So that should never stop you. And if things don't go as you plan, like what we saw today, we started off with a few kings. We don't give up. We didn't close everything and say that, okay, now the graduation is over, let's try this again. You keep looking for alternatives until it's done. One of the things that our CEO, Mr. Paul Mukoma, who's not been able to join us today in the program, but has been with us all through this session, always says is, things have to be done, and if you need them to be done, they get done. If you don't want them done, you find excuses, or you find something to lean on as a crutch so that you don't get it done. So it's very important that you learn how to collaborate. And finally, I want you to learn how to act, don't complain. Act, don't complain. It is so sad that sometimes we get into a vicious cycle of always complaining. This is not right. I don't have everything I need to start a business. I don't have a job. I'm not getting opportunities. I'm sending out CVs. No one is giving me a response. Sometimes we get into a vicious cycle of complaining that we don't stop to reflect and think, what do I have? What can I start with? What can I do? And how can I put my skill to use in this world, in this new world that Enos has so well elaborated what it means? So act, don't complain. Get into the culture of looking at what can I do in this particular instance with what I have. And what you have is more than what several others have out there. You've gotten an opportunity to not only pick up skill, but practice it and also understand how it translates into the market and into the industry. So congratulations to the graduating class. And I hope that beyond the celebration, beyond the joy of having, walked this journey and completed it greatly, because not everyone who joined with you has graduated today. We have 76 of you today graduating, but that was not the full number that joined in. There are those who will have to join in the next graduation. There are those who, for some reason or the other, were unable to keep up with the demand that came up with learning. So as you celebrate, As you get into this moment of euphoria, then also sit down and strategize. What is my next step? How do I get to the next level? And what are my goals and objectives? So thank you very much for allowing us to be part of your journey, for allowing us to walk this journey with you. I know it was not the easiest, and right now, as you sit there with your parents, with your support system, with your guardians, they may not understand how much effort and how many hours you had to put and how much kinks you had to navigate so that you're able to be where you are today. The only way now you're able to prove to them that you've been able to walk a journey is what you do in the next step. How deliberate are you in your next moment? So thank you very much. My name is Edwin Kuria. I'm the principal at Talanta Institute. And I think it's important that this situation is also happening at a very unique time, at a time when we are also having an ongoing intake. So even for you who's supporting your friend, who has that support system, or who has just done maybe one level and wants to advance to the next level at Talanta Institute, the world is open for you, and we are here. We are ready. Just call us, reach out to us, talk to us, and see how you can come in. You've seen and you've heard from the guests that they also collaborate with our students. So it's an opportunity not only to learn, but to open you up to the career and to the industry and market that you want to do. Now, of course, I know what brought us today is the conferment of the diplomas, degrees, and the artisan and short courses. That is why I'd like to take this opportunity to invite our Dean of Studies, who is also Mr. Edwin, but Mr. Edwin Namutali. And even as he goes that, I'd like to personally congratulate all of you and also the valedictorians who emerged the best, and that is Sam Wasso, because even in everything, even as we collaborate, even as we get things going, there's always those who excel and sometimes get above and beyond. And it's always part of the efforts that they put in. But all of you are champions, and that's what we've been doing at Talanta, unveiling champions. When you look behind me, you can see it's written Talanta Institute, unveiling champions, because we are not creating them, we are not building them, all we are doing is unveiling by, sort of like doing a little bit of panel beating and seeing what we need to do and guiding what needs to be done. So I'd like to invite Mr. Edwin Namutali, our Dean of Studies, to join me so that he can continue with the conferment of the diplomas and certificates and the artisan courses. Karibu sana, Mr. Namutali.
Thank you so much, Mr. Principal. So I also want to take this opportunity to thank all of you who are joining us from wherever you are, and remind you that God loves you so much, and wish that God will continue protecting you during these difficult moments of COVID-19, and God will continue blessing you. So just like the MC said, tutakuwa na wakati wa kukata keki, and I think this is the time where we are now cutting the cake. Our chief guest, Dr. Zippy Okoth, Board of Directors, represented by Dr. Caroline Juguna. Our guest, Madam Kerry Kagiri, Mr. Super Director Enos Olik, and Madam Rachel Wainaina, who happens to be one of my mentors in the film industry. Our principal, Mr. Edwin Kuria, all protocol observed. Dear graduates, I hereby confer upon you the certification in your respective disciplines in diploma, certificate, arts and programs as indicated, with all rights and privileges thereunto appertaining. For the diploma in TV and film production, Rashid Malim, Augusta Wanjiru, Brian Mwangi, Brighton Opio, Caroline Wanjiku, Collins Kamau, Daniel Waiti, Eric Kamore, Esther Gitau, Esther Washira, Faith Charono, Frederick Kimani, Grace Wanjeri, Ibrahim Kimemia, Jasper Murithi, Jedida Wangari, Julius Irungu, Jagens Mboya, Karen Nyaga, Kevin Mdama, Leah Wamboi, Linus Ochieng, Margaret Wanjiru, Maureen Wairimu, Moses Mwirore, Neville Kipruto, Raphael Kipkoech, Rosemary Wairimu, Rufus Karuri, and Samuel Kamau. For the certificate in TV and film production, Adrian Kipkorir, David Gakumo, David Ngugi, Elizabeth Waidera, Jamie Karanja, Joseph Kihara, Kennedy Mwau, Lawrence Nyongesa, Manasseh Phil, Moses Kigwadi, Rose Mudoni, and Solomon Mwangi. For the diploma in music production, Enoch Mwendwa, Lucy Kuria, and Samuel Mudiami. For the certificate in music production, Collins Muoka. For the diploma in broadcast journalism, Miriam Mugweru. For the certificate in broadcast journalism, Dennis Kegode and Grace Odero. For the diploma in animation, Diana Nangila, Nora Odwor, and Samuel Gitonga. For the certificate in animation, Christopher Mugo. For the certificate in graphics design, Anne Sheila Karuga. For the certificate in performing arts, Zilpa Mwihaki, Claudia Wangoi, Eric Waweru, Marvel Mwangi, Winnie Nyambura. For the certificate in photography, Alice Wanjiru, Angela Wagana, Bernard Kuru, Dennis Mwangi, Diana Njambi, Frida Kimesis, Ian Wagana, Jasmine Tamia, Maureen Juguna, Okwema Calvin, Ouma Caleb, and Victor Masharia. For the certificate in videography and editing, Vivian Biwott. For the certificate in DJ, Charles Irungu, Pius Mwangi, and Rodney Mtuma. For the certificate in TV and radio hosting, Patrick Muzuo. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, for the certificate in digital marketing, Mercy Kungu. I'd like to say to you, congratulations, class of 2021. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
We have now cut the cake, and we can now go and explore life. I'll see you. So thank you once again, Mr. Principal and the Dean of Students. They are my leaders, and I follow them, and I obey what they do and what they say that is, and I'm so grateful for that opportunity. Now, as we come to a closure of this great ceremony, and one thing I like about this institution actually is that you can argue with words, but you cannot argue with results. That is one thing you need to know in life. You can argue with words, but you can never argue with results. That is actually a completion of a task is a welcome to a more complex task. So be ready to face the next level. So before we do the closing prayer, we have a documentary that is coming up. Enjoy it.
For anybody out there who is looking into getting into production, anything around media, Talanta Institute is your #1 option.
Through Mwema, we sort of had just that connection. Steve Hunter was a student at the time at Talanta Institute, and he's really excellent in his work. We did a video recently, Kuna Namna, and I'm amazed at the products of Talanta Institute.
Personally, I've attended school when it comes to film and everything, but I cannot compare the knowledge that I gained just by. It's even in the Bible, it says that you show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are. So rubbing yourself shoulders with people who are already in the game, that's a very great added advantage.
I remember when we used to school there, we could have met so many people, so many celebs, and that one could challenge us, because
this is your work, this is what you want to do. We used to have guys come from different industries, from guys from Canon, from accomplished filmmakers, to just an amazing time.
A lot of people go to school and they study, and then they're released into the media, and most of them have never even held a camera. They come out here and then they're green, they have head knowledge, but they don't have experience. But now Talanta has, filled that gap.
I will recommend people who are starting right now to go to Talanta Institute and see what they have to offer, because something that I believe, is that every time you go to an institution where people believe in you and that you can actually make it and that you can actually fly, then you will actually fly.
I'm Masi Masika and I am a champion.
Mi naitwa Protisa na mimi ni champion.
My name is Grace Ekirapa and I am a champion.
I'm Enos Alik and I'm a champion.
My name is Magic Mike and I'm a champion.
My name is Jimmy Gaines and I am a champion.
This is Peter K. Njeru and I am a champion.
That is great. That is great. So our student is ready. So Sam Waso, I want you to give a vote of thanks so that we can close with a word of prayer. Welcome, Sam.
Yes, I'd like to thank all of you for making this dream come true. Before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge everyone of you who has made this become a success for us. It has been a long journey for those who have been with me in my class, my fellow students, my fellow comrades. I'd like to congratulate you for those who have made it and those who are still aspiring to go to the heights that their dreams are at. Yes, I'd like to thank my lecturer, one, for he believed in me. And when I was searching for a school online, I searched for Talanta Institute, and I believed in excellence. And the moment I stepped in that school, they showed a level of belief in me that made me feel like I was in the right place. And so with that, to cut the long story short, I was able to gain skills other than music production skills. I was able to gain ability to influence others and negotiate. I was able to gain good communication skills, problem solving skills, and more so adaptability skills. Because from my background, I'm a student who has come all the way from Pwani, Mombasa, and I got a social shock when I got to Nairobi, and I have never been here. So Talanta felt like home away from home, and it has really been an experience of my life to be here. I'd like to encourage each and everyone who is watching this, wherever you are, that Talanta is the place where champions are unveiled. Talanta is, other than other schools, I really haven't seen like anybody who has done so outstandingly, yeah, if I may say so. And I've been able to get so much attachments from the experiences I've gotten in our school, the lecturers. Because for me, I really wanted to learn so much, so I would pop into every every course so that I'd see where can I get the best exposure, what can I challenge myself with, what lies ahead of me. And through that, I got to get points from every lecturer, and it really helped me when I went to the field, where from what I've heard from the esteemed guests speaking about, it's kind of different. Yeah. So it has really been a very good experience, if I may say, because right now I am short of words because of excitement. Um, and yeah, I guess I'd like to invite everyone to come to our school. And I thank you for giving me this opportunity, and for choosing me as the best student. I really didn't expect that. Yeah, it is a great honor that I am glad I will be able to carry on throughout my life. Yeah.
That was quite emotional and inspiring. I can see some people online asking for tissues and serviettes. And yeah, anyway, thank you so much. We are a family, and we believe in love. This is a family, this is a house, this is one house, this is a company, but we believe in love. The love that I've seen in this place from lecturers to students is quite impressive. It's quite impressive, and I really thank the entire school admin for everything and for just the success of this event. It means a lot to the parents, I know. And thank you for the parents. You've been so supportive, especially during this pandemic season. It's been tough. It's not been easy. Going after students, wake up, you're supposed to be in class. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I congratulate your courage, your discipline, because show me a person who lives a good life, the disciplined person. And thank you for that. And to our guest of honors, to the administration of this school, to the dean of students, to the principal, to the CEO, to even the workers, anyone who has made this event a success, we are grateful. And thank you for the students, the parents as well, the mentors, and even the sponsors, donors. We have all those people who would like to really appreciate you, and we say thank you. And we want to close with a word of prayer, want to speak favor upon your life, want to speak life, want to speak prosperity in the name of Jesus, want to release blessings as a school, even as an individual. I want to bless you. Wherever you go, you are blessed. Wherever you go, you be nice, and may the Lord favor you. May God order your steps in the name of Jesus. If you're a parent right now and you're believing for greater things, for even change towards your child, I speak favor, I speak wisdom in the name of Jesus Christ. May God open doors, and may the devil be and flee away from you. Because the Bible says that when the devil comes in like a flood, our God will rise a standard. May God rise a standard over your life in the name of Jesus. May God rise a standard over your talent, your skills. May you be perceived as a good person. May you be an excellent person in whatever you do. May your skill make you sit with kings and dine with kings. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray, believing and trusting. Amen. Adios, guys. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May He favor you always. Thank you so much. Talanta Institute, blessings to you. Asanteni.
Hi, my name is Yvonne. I'm also known as Marwa Mudhamaki, aka Waboiwa Duta. I do makeup, script writing, I also act. So I found Talanta Institute 2018, early January. I found it, I was looking for a place that can really work on my talent, which was acting. And then by then I didn't know how to apply makeup or be good at so many things in the art industry. So I went online and just searched talent-based schools, and Talanta popped out, and they had this amazing ad. By then they were based at just next to Garden City. And yeah, that's how I found the school. And when I checked out the environment, the courses they were offering, I also didn't want a long time in school, so I wanted a short course. And that came through for me really, really well. It was the best 6 months I ever had. So the networks that I made while I was in Talanta has really helped me, and I know it's gonna help me even in my future, in this career path. I met with these amazing guys, Back to Basics. Those guys really came through. I learned a lot about directing, stage acting, and how to even work together as a team. So I'm really looking forward to apply those skills and whatever I've learned in Talanta into my work. And I hope you guys out there are gonna love my work. My work is Talanta spiced, like it's all because of Talanta Institute. Whatever I do, actually it's everything, makeup, writing, Talanta is just a good place to be. I'm a champion. You be the champion.
My name is Peter K. Njeru. I'm an entertainment entrepreneur. I came to Talanta in 2019 to do film. My most amazing highlights were a couple of them. I'd say it was really, really good to go back to class and really just enjoy having an amazing time with other students. The lecturers were also amazing, from the Dean of Studies, like Aidu, and also catching up with Mukoma, all these guys. And even the administration have been really amazing. They make you guys feel really, really welcome, and they have an hands-on way of doing things. And one of the things I really enjoyed studying at Talanta was actually, you could say 80% was actually practicals. Then now the 20% is theory. So that means from day one you come to class, you get to really learn something from the first day you come. You can know when your mom or your friends or your parents ask you what did you study, you can literally actually show them what you did. The places now we used to go and now shoot projects outside. That was really fun. We got to meet the top artists, top industry players, and also us guys just doing our own project. That was actually, we were looking forward to doing that every single week. Talanta is actually a Christian-based school, so we had a lot of prayers and fellowship every single week. We had actually a department where if you're going through issues, you could actually go and actually talk to them. Then also we used to have weekly fellowships and conferences where we used to have guys come and just talk to us about life issues and also talk about God. But also as well, used to have guys come from different industries, from guys from Canon, from accomplished filmmakers, to just an amazing time. This is Peter K. Njeru, and I am a champion.
Spice na everything nice. Wacha nikushow kuhusu game na sio dice. Nasema kuhusu chuo ni gets all tuta spice. Creatives ni wangori na huwezi despice. Masomo kuwa key tuna unlock ujinga. Ngori ndio theme hata huwezi dinda. Keti chini vuta kiti show form ya pizza. Theory na practical na kushoni tweezer. Sukari tuko kawa sukari. Sukari